it.
Thanks so much for your time, and we are glad you're there. And we have also harvested from the Mailbox, political platform at yahoo.com, where we share your views as usual on the program. And thanks to those who watch us on AIT Abuja at 6 p.m. and those who have also subscribed to our YouTube channel at AIT Political Platform. And many more thanks to those who have downloaded the Raypower Network app. And that makes you have Raypower FM on the go, anywhere you are. Ohiri Agbonsuremi is my name. We're going to be talking essentially on road safety this morning. And Dr. Boboyo Yemi is already in the house. We'll be talking about him as the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission. We're always glad to have him in the studio. A lot of issues. Some say some bad eggs within the Federal Road Safety Commission. They are giving the image, bad image to the organization, an organization that has charted a very beautiful course, the course of time, and working very well. Some also say that it is time for the Federal Road Safety Commission to ask for minimum arms to secure themselves and protect themselves against armed robbery, against kidnappers, against those in authority who also want to use the advantage of that. They are not take the advantage of they are not being armed to molest them, just like we saw with the wife of the Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly recently. A lot more issues, and we'll also be talking about the need to sanitize our road, the psychiatric tests that the Corps is proposing, that those who drive against traffic, those who make phone calls on the road while they are on the wheels, those who are drunk, those who take the laws into their hand, definitely have something wrong, and they need to examine. They need to be examined to discover if we need to take their driver's licenses from them. Now, my colleagues are in here. We are going to make it very snappy. Go to our mailbox and reduce all the political talks, and then talk about the road safety this morning for our own joint and several for our own joint benefits, so that all of us can indeed be safe on our roads. Adebayo Bodirin is right in here. Adebayo, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I think the only thing that is that should be of concern to Nigerians this morning is it's not the fresh news as such. It is one that we are familiar with. The Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kashuku, said in 20 to 30 years' time, oil will either become a fading or faded commodity, and that raises a very, very big question for us. Are we prepared for it?
Well, I believe about it, like you rightly said, it's an old story. On this program, we have you record that we have told everybody. France has already said by 2040 that currently driven cars, diesel, petrol will be off their roads. They will use electric cars. So, do you pity those in the Niger Delta now? Those who have their environment so degraded that they need trillions and trillions of naira to revamp the environment? What happens in just 30 years' time when we don't need oil, and that oil is just for it becomes useless? Now, those are the things that the leaders in the South should be thinking about. What do they do to get their environments cleaned up when the music is still playing? Because if the place is not cleaned up, and we have the devastation that we have at Adebayo Bodirin, we have the devastation that we have now running into this period when oil is not needed, that zone will be uninhabitable, and it will be useless because the oil from the ground is useless. Dr. Amechi Anakwe is also on the program this morning. Amechi, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Hiri. I'm talking of the Niger Delta. The other sad attachment to what you have just raised is the inability of the leaders there to develop the human resource. If you don't have the crude oil, you have to make a resort to the human resource. But as it were, the bulk of the youths there have been made to understand that you can earn money, you can make money, you don't earn. If you take to militancy, then you get some form of reward. If that continues into that new era we're envisaging, it's going to throw up a lot of problems. But we are just waiting for the National Assembly as both chambers commence work, clause by clause consideration of the amendments to the Constitution. Very significant amendments we're expecting.
And Mustafa Mohammed is also here. Mustafa,
thank you, Okiria. Oil or no oil, development has nothing to do with the amount of resources you have. Look at what Dubai has turned that desert into. I think our biggest problem is our inability to turn our resources, both human and material, into something that will become world-class. Everybody wants to carry the raw cash, then whether the oil dries up or not, Nigeria is still in a very big mess. Forgive my choice of words.
Now let's go to our Mailbox political platform at yahoo.com. Let's see who is joining us to share the views. Remember that we are talking road safety this morning, and after the mails will be coming to talk about road safety. Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi is in the house, and he will be answering our. You have also sent so many mails. We got. Thank you for following our call yesterday. Those who have difficulties with driver's license procurement, those who are asking and querying how the FRSC is going to implement the psychiatric tests, if those outlaws on our roads will obey them, and how are they going to secure themselves, and a lot of other suggestions that we indeed will find very pleasurable to discuss with the commercial this morning. Let's see who is talking to us through political platform at yahoo.com.
Thanks, Ohiria. Welcome to the mail segment. I'm Amaka Okoro.
And I am Ife Nwanwobi. Welcome.
We'll begin with a mail from Samson Ojutalayo from Kuje in Abuja, and he writes on the recent pictures of President Buhari and the visit by some APC members in London. The mail reads, the recent pictures of President Buhari by some APC stalwart depicts the height of deception by our leaders, and many questions are begging for answers. 1. Why didn't Mr. President snap with the APC delegates outside while they stood up? 2. Why isn't there an audio visual for the meeting? 3. Why are all the drinks on the table local Nigerian drinks and not foreign drinks, as they claim the pictures were taken in London? 4. This government came in on the slogan of change. Why do we have so much drinks for 6 people? Can we say they are wasteful too?
Away from that to the Federal Road Safety Corps, and these are some questions coming from Emmanuel Ocharifu, who writes us from Maraba in Nasarawa State. He says, your assurance yesterday to bring on board the FRSC boss to the platform today makes this my mail inevitable. How can we believe that this your new discovered psychiatrist test on traffic offenders will not go the same way as the new number plates that was supposed to put an end to car theft, the e-coding that was supposed to code all vehicle information, helmets for motorcyclists that should have saved more lives now, reflective stickers even when there is follow-com reflection at every rear light, expired tires. How come FRSC no longer asks for needle and razor blade that was once asked for on our road?
And still on the FRSC, Ngozi Okoronkwo in Abuja has this to say. I support the mental test introduced by FRSC for traffic offenders. My worry, however, is that it will not be effectively implemented since we have limited hospitals and trained personnel to carry out the test. I suggest the inclusion of road safety education in our schools curriculum. Also, why can't FRSC push for a law that will compel traffic offenders to carry out community service, since most offenders easily pay the fines and continue to break traffic laws? And this is how far we can go on today's mail segment. Do keep sending your mails to us. The route to reach us is political platform at yahoo.com.
Busted. They present the popular radio program Political Platform on the Ray Power FM network. Ray Power FM Political Platform, now on television. Keep track of the country's polity and be part of the process as they discuss and put political developments in the country into perspective. It's Ray Power Political Platform on AIT Abuja.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we are getting him right on board at the moment. I want to invite the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, to join us now. You must know that he is the last man standing. When you hear the last man standing, you want to understand where he got that within the FRSC group, why he's called the last man standing. He was there at the very, very beginning of the Federal Road Safety Commission set up, and he was one of the is the last officer that still is in the corps now, those who started the Federal Road Safety Commission. So by the time he bows out, he'll be bowing out and leaving the new generation of Federal Road Safety Commissions who must have gained from those who started it, and he has the duty and the responsibility to instill all that is possible, that is the dream of those founders of the Federal Road Safety Commission. Thank you so much for joining us, Doctor.
Good morning.
I wouldn't know where to begin from because we have short time. We have to quickly run around all of them. We have less than 15 minutes to do this. And all our viewers and our listeners are eager to have all the questions answered. Let's talk about the soft one first. Soft in the sense that many people will say, why is the Federal Road Safety Commission not employing? It's one agency that has not been that has not been swallowed in the allegations of secret recruitment. They have recruited here through the back door. How have you managed that? And we also know that you need more men considering the activities that you need to carry on the road. What is the problem with recruiting more into the FRSC?
Well, thank you very much. I don't think there's any problem in respect of this. We have the approval of Mr. President to recruit personnel, and is undergoing the normal process. We believe in the due process, and you are compelled with the recent circular to follow all the processes. So we are on course, and at the appropriate time we advertise, but for now we are not recruiting, and there's nothing going on. We must comply with the statutory rules regarding recruitment into the services.
You want to tell us how soon this process will start?
Well, once the appropriation is done for it, we've defended it, and we must follow the full process. You know, you must advertise, you must get your clearance from Federal Character Commission, you must get the approval of the head of service and SGF, then you kick off.
How have you managed to, there's what they call replacement in almost all the, including the, I don't want to list them. How have you managed to resist the temptation for replacement? Those who have left, those who have resigned, those who die, you have not. You can do replacement as long as you follow the processes. So that is it. Once you follow the processes, you will not be caught with the infractions required. Okay. Now let's go to the core duties of and some of the challenges that we have. My colleagues and I, when we were taking a look at all of it this morning, we said we should begin from the safety of your men on the road. That has been a challenge because you were not set up to carry arms from the beginning, but there has been a lot of suggestions that at certain levels, because of armed robbery, because of things that you should actually be allowed to carry arms. And the incident in Abia State recently, when 2 of your men were shot over some enforcement, gives rise more attention to this area. What are your thoughts about this?
Thank you. Of recent, the personnel of the Corps are the most exposed to dangers. The act that sets up the Corps empowers the Corps to bear arms, and we're following the processes. At the appropriate time, we get the final clearance. The personnel were trained after a few years ago, and we are following all the processes that it entails the Corps to bear arms, and at the appropriate time, we get the final clearance from government. Let me delve a little bit into the issue of ABBA. I think I don't want to exchange words with the speaker, but the speaker was not economical with truth. That was an act of lawlessness, and I stand by this. The wife of the speaker violated a traffic regulation by not using seatbelt. She was flagged down. She was not the one driving. It's a matter of simple courtesy to have stopped. And she refused to stop. The driver refused to stop. That is lawlessness in the first instance.
She was not even the one driving.
She was not the one driving. And the next thing they reversed, and one of the aides there slapped and maltreated the personnel. The next thing she called the husband, the speaker, that she was being traumatized or she was being molested. Molesting how? And the next thing, the speaker was there. It is very wrong for speaker to have addressed a press conference and said that he was not at the scene. Okay, the question is, this speaker was there with the policemen, and the next he said they should be taught lessons. Close range open of arms against those innocent officers and marshals. And the speaker dragged the team leader and removed, ordered the battery of the patrol car to be removed, and took that officer to the police station to be detained until we received the information and had to call the CP, who waded into the matter, and appropriate things were done. And those places, and the speaker, when this happened, now sent for the sector commander to come and see him. And I said the sector commander should not go and see him. It is barbaric, unexpected, uncalled for in 21st century for a lawmaker to descend to this level and maltreated the personnel of the Federal Republic, security agencies, just because they were not armed. It is not correct, and we should say the truth. The speaker should stop all these rantings and let us face the real thing. A simple apology for this and all this issue of overzealousness should stop. But I must commend the Inspector General of Police. Prompt action taken at the CPRBA, Leyewibade. The police took care of the personnel. They paid all the medical bills. They've tried the policemen involved, and they've done their own. And that is the normal thing.
How going to be prosecuted?
No, wait. That is beyond me. But I've directed that the wife be given the citation. I will prosecute the wife of the speaker for a traffic offense. It's simple. At the speaker level, I forwarded the report to His Excellency, the Governor of Abia State. We must follow the processes. I don't play.
But can we really prosecute the speaker's wife who was not on the wheel?
Violation of seatbelts. Yeah. She was not wearing seatbelts. It's an offense.
Well, okay, she was not wearing seatbelts. She was not
wearing a seatbelt. It's an offense. And I'm going to prosecute her. It's as simple as that. The matter is not closed. For the speaker, I've reported to His Excellency, the Governor, and we follow the normal process. I won't.
Now let's talk about seatbelt again, because I know that we have set a timeline for those sitting behind the car.
We've commented that is the enforcement.
Enforcement to wear seatbelts.
Yeah, you see, we've lost so many lives. I don't want to be talking about the VIPs that we've lost because of this. Seatbelt is designed to protect you in case of a crash, the vehicle somersaulting or loss of control. It's to strap you to the seat with minimum injury. When you fail to do this, it can be thrown out. Yes, you are thrown out. The vehicle somersaults on you, and you are dead. So these are simple things. And you see, some of these things we are toying with. When they go outside the country, they obey. They obey. They obey. So why? You see, let's stop this big manism. The speaker should stop that and let us face the correct thing. But again, we have more things to do in terms of education, enlightenment, advocacy. We are working, but you see, the big manism is killing us in this country. So we must, and why we are being attacked,
everybody must obey this.
Thank you, Austin. Because why we are having all these recent attacks is that I've raised the level of patrol operations. So we are bound to a stiff resistance that we are facing. And I remain. I've told the boys, we'll not relent, because it's a monster that must be crushed. So, and we're on course.
There have been recently. There was this statement from the commission detailing all the atrocities citizens allegedly commit against road safety officials. Of course, if you read it, you definitely want to empathize with road safety. But there's this very recent one, video on the social media. Some road safety officials apparently struggling over control of the steering. It ended with the smashing of the windows of the vehicle by the road safety official. But that statement said that was not the complete video, that it was doctored to draw sympathy for the drivers of the vehicle.
Well, in as much as I appreciate the social media, I will plead with the public to exercise restraint before the judge when they see such things. The patrol team was along Kubwa Road.
In Abuja here?
In Abuja. A civilized environment. The driver violated the traffic regulations. He was accosted. The normal rule is for a member of the team to follow the vehicle to the office. Yes. And she was abducted. What she was trying to do was to engage the gear in neutral.
So that they can stop, yeah.
Because three of them were in the vehicle and she was being taken to an unknown place. There are 2-3 occasions of recent that I was on the road in the city and I witnessed such, and I had to use my own convoy to block those drivers. You see, this is lawlessness. Something is wrong with the emotional, psychological state of some drivers.
Does it not boil down to the kind of training your men have? Do they actually have to enter the vehicle of somebody who can be dangerous?
No.
Somebody who can...
It's a process. Yeah. It's a process. You enter the vehicle to direct him to the office. And the next thing, the man wanted to speed away.
But is it not the failure, sir? Is it not the failure of the number plate identity that was actually initiated some years ago, where people were asked to come and pay fresh to get number plate because they want to have the identity? If you have the identity of the person who is driving, you don't need to chase after him.
No, listen, it's not chasing. Yeah. The man was flagged down. He parked. Okay, you must look at the process. Yes. There was an infraction. It was flagged down and he parked. The offense was committed. That means for this vehicle to be,
has to be impounded.
To be impounded means it doesn't have the vehicle papers, maybe expired license, maybe it doesn't have anything. What the law says as at that point in time is that it's a suspected stolen vehicle. And the law further says that if after that vehicle must be taken to the base, and if after 24 hours the offender, the suspect offender has
fails to come,
then that matter must be reported to police. It becomes a criminal case. That means it's a suspected stolen vehicle. Within 24 hours, we must report to the police.
But your officers went violent, smashing the.
I agree to that. Yeah. I've taken appropriate disciplinary action on that. Okay. I must accept that. The action was wrong. Let's call it.
The shaving of the hair of some female officers in Port Harcourt, has it been swept under the carpet?
I don't know about you. I've been here and I've cleared it. I've disciplined all those involved. The sector commander was removed. The head of provision was removed. They were tried. They were given appropriate punishment. And I think, and the next step is to discipline the ladies too. They cannot go scot-free. Yes, it is wrong. You see, like the editorial of Tribune, if you want to do fashion, resign. Go and look for a job that will give you that audacity.
All the leverages.
Thank you, Austin, to do that kind of it. But for uniform organization, there are dress codes, dress protocol. Yeah. If you don't follow it, you are flushed out. Please don't let us look at one side. What does the dress protocol says? Your hair should be able to tuck into your beret, and you now came with that kind of braided hair in uniform. Please, let's look at both sides. What the sector commander did was wrong, and we have punished him. I came there and I said it. But what those ladies did
was also wrong.
And I must punish them, and I will punish them. I'm through with the officers, and they will face their own punishment. All this issue of civil society saying that take him to court, there's no violation of rights here. You have signed that you will comply with the paramilitary ethics, and you violate it, you must face the music.
Now let's go to the one that everybody will want to talk about. So many people, and so many of our mails also talked about it. Emmanuel in Kubwa, Emmanuel Kubwa says the online driver's license process is fraught with delays, and people get to, although you issue your licenses ultimately, but there's a lot of delay, and some of them also complain that there are some fraudulent practices. How? What's the process?
I think the online, I'm happy. There's no delays. It has to do with network. And I think Galaxy Backbone is improving on this already. They have just switched to NICOM Search. Even if you go to a bank, sometimes they tell you there's no network, you should come back. So I don't have a satellite dedicated for road safety, Austin. So we are also, that's one of the problems of developing country. It has to do with the bandwidth. And the more we expand, we acquire more bandwidth. But at the peak periods, all of us knows that there's bound to be a delay a little bit. And the online processing, why can't you do it in your house?
Another big one is this.
Let me just finish this. And you see, Nigerians, when you follow, Austin, you yourself, when you follow the process, you get things done. Why do you want to circumvent? License is 6350. Why don't you do it online? 5 years or 3 years, your choice. And process, use your ATM card to pay in your house. Do the print out and submit. Then if you then come to the office and there's a network delay, then you wait and get the things done. Don't go through it out. You go through it out, it's a problem.
You may even get a fake license.
Which you know. And why paying 20,000 for fake license when the original is 6,000? And they will start complaining. Please, if you yourself you have investigated some of these cases and you ended up being fake licenses, paying 25,000 for fake official license is 6,000. So what the hell?
The issue of psychiatric tests. Many have doubted your capacity.
Please, let me clarify.
Do it in that large scale.
Please let me clarify.
Yeah, we need clarification.
I've ever said psychiatrist test. From the word go, I was speaking about emotional, mental, and psychological tests.
Okay, what's the difference?
There are two differences. Okay. You have the psychologist and you have the psychiatrist. That is why I refuse to engage the Psychiatric Association of Nigeria about the utterances. Until they've never contributed anything to road safety.
So it's psychological. Do we have the experts?
Where do we
look at
psychologists? Even in my organization, I have clinical psychologists. And I never said they should be taken to a private clinic, that they will go to government facility. Okay, is it good for somebody to be using phone while driving?
Or drive against the traffic?
Drive against the traffic or jump the traffic light. Look at those three scenarios. So then something must be wrong with you.
And it is psychological. Can we stretch it to psychiatric?
It's one step to the other.
But and the laws covered it.
I want to ask you.
Listen, let me just finish. What I call for is emotional.
You know why I'm asking that? Because Lagos State at some point said, look, it is not believable that somebody would head against the traffic without something wrong with his mental
psychological level.
Okay.
Then, and so far, I've arrested nationwide almost 2,000 and almost 750 have been referred to the hospital.
Now, we want to, because of time, I want to give you opportunity to explain this to those who are on the wheels, those who drive. What exactly is the expectation with regard to this psychological test?
Well, if you don't use phone while driving, if you don't face oncoming traffic like you said, and the other one, if you don't jump the traffic light, then don't drive dangerously. Nobody will stop you. If they only be stopped if there's an infraction. So wait, all this noise is not necessary. If you don't use phone while driving, if you don't violate those rules, you go in peace.
Is drunk driving also included in it?
You know, that one is established. That one is prosecution. You know, these are real cases. Drunk driving, no fines, nothing. It's full prosecution, and we are doing that. If you observe, we started this on the 1st of July. I've gotten so much results on it. So all this noise being made, if you don't want to be arrested by personnel.
The last thing we want to hear from you is the seatbelt. When is it operational for people who are behind the car to put on their seatbelt? Immediately. It's already in process. And can we enforce that with the commercial vehicles?
Commercial, not yet.
Not yet.
There's no provision for that. Yes. But for private vehicles, why not?
So if you are shuffle driven,
if you observe the modern luxury buses now, they have provision for the seatbelt.
Yes.
Yeah. So if there's provision for the seatbelt, fine.
Thank you so much, Dr. Buboyo. You hear me? If we cannot get more than what we have now. Unfortunately, we don't have more time to go into all the details, but we have tried to go around and see those things, and we are hoping that he will find time to come back, always busy, to the program so that we can get more. Now, some of these things are very clear. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program. And that's how we're wrapping up on the program this morning. And in another 24 hours, we'll be back, and we'll have more for you. Here, here. Bust it.